Welcome to Make Things Happen with Diana Pagano. I came from struggle, living life on survival mode, and later found myself living in that same vicious cycle. Life is meant to be so much more than settling. Are you ready to stop dreaming for what could be and turn those dreams into reality? I thought so. Well, get ready to live life on your terms. Hello and welcome to Make Things Happen podcast with Diana Pagano. On today's episode of The Follow-Up, this is where it's at. This is where your money's at, your success in anything that you do. And you're going to want to stay tuned to the very end where I show you how to get 5 of your customers to level up. But before we get started, a lot of you have been asking about my group coaching, so we're adding the link below so that you can apply. We want to make sure this is the right fit for each other and get ready to have a very high impact, intimate group coaching experience where you're going to absolutely level up your game. And if you're ready to stop settling, if you're ready to go bigger, if you're ready to stop thinking and wishing for something more, where you live life on your terms, we're going to get into some really deep work. And if you're ready to really show up for the best you that you could be, I encourage you to apply, and I can't wait to see you there. On today's sales series episode, we're talking about follow-up. And let me tell you, the money, your sales, your success, it's all in the follow-up. So I want you to imagine that your fortune awaits in your follow-up. I want you to understand the absolute impact that follow-up really has on your business. So whether you're in sales or not, you're following up with that contractor that's doing work for your house, doesn't matter. Follow-up is everywhere. But yes, this is definitely a sales series. And so definitely if you're in sales, if you're in business, right? Whether you work for yourself or you're in sales for somebody else, many people don't understand the value that follow-up has on your business. And if you're in sales or it's your own business, doesn't matter. It's all in the follow-up. And let me tell you, there's so many statistics that I want to share with you about this exact topic. The follow-up, you call that person and you're like, oh, it was a lead I met at an event, or somebody gave you a lead and you call them and you leave a message on a Wednesday, and then Thursday happens, they don't call you back, and then Friday they don't call you back. So you just assume that they don't want to talk to you if it's been over a week. No, you call them again. There is such power in the follow-up. Things happen when you follow up, and then you call the second time and they don't answer, so you leave another message. And then you're like, okay, I feel like I'm pesterizing them, so I'm not going to call them until maybe another week or two goes by. No, you don't have to wait 2 weeks to call your person, right? Did you know that over 80% of sales requires at minimum 5 follow-ups? And yet over 44% of sales reps give up after the first follow-up, one follow-up. It's like we live in such a world where we want instant gratification, that we text somebody, they text us right back, or people that just want to receive answers right away. We get everything is answered for us. We ask Google, now it's ChatGPT or another AI platform, and you get what you want, you get a response right away. Everything's at our fingertips. So the minute that you call somebody to present your services or talk about your business, whatever it is that you're doing, and you don't get an answer right away, it kind of like hurts you. You're like, oh, they don't want to talk to me. And you have this mind shift sometimes that happens that you think, oh, I don't want to be a pest. I don't want to burden them. I don't want to bother them. But you gotta knock it off, because the statistics do not lie. And I'm going to share some of that actually with you. And like I said, over 44% of sales reps, that's a lot, almost half of the sales reps out there. Call yourself a sales rep. If you own your own business, you're in sales. Over 50% of people stop following up after one follow-up. That's insane. That's your competition, by the way. That is your competitor. And your energy really impacts what happens next. So the energy, what I mean by that, I've talked about this in other episodes, your energy brings confidence, or your energy brings insecurities. So it depends, what energy are you tapping into? If you said, I called that person twice already within 2 weeks and they're not calling me back, why would they answer me now? Boom. Language patterns, you got this inner dialogue happening that's not serving you. And so the energy that you're bringing with that mindset is like, oh, I'm going to bother them. So why bother? I'm not going to receive an answer back because I've already left. You have all this stuff that you're made up in your mind, and you're doing it. I know you're doing it. If you're not following up, then you're doing something in here that is now dictating the action or the lack of action that you're not taking, right? So if you left somebody a message and then you call them again, second follow-up, they still don't answer, and you leave a voicemail and then you are now looking to maybe do a third call, but you're hesitating. Maybe the process is that you should call your leads at least 8 times. I've always told my team, you call them how many times? Minimum of 8 times, or until they tell you to go away. And when I'm telling you what energy are you bringing to the table really matters, because how are you viewing this? Are you viewing it like you're bothering them? Are you viewing it like, I have something of value to serve? I have something of value that they need. So pay attention to the energy, the conversations, the story that you're telling yourself. If you're in sales and your job is to produce revenue for your business or for the organization that you work for, and you're in sales, you have to be okay getting on the damn phone and just talking to people. And you have to be okay with the follow-up. This is where it's at. Your money is in the follow-up. Your success in business, in sales, is in your follow-up. And as I mentioned, over 44% of people give up after one follow-up with their prospect. That is crazy. And did you know, and only 8% follow up more than 5 times? That's insane. So if you think about, people say the top 3%, the top 1%ers, if you want to be the top, you want to be the top producer, you want to have success, be that top 8%. Just like the other statistics I shared in previous episode, I said only 8% of people actually make their goals, reach their goals. This is very true with so many different statistics. If only 8% of people follow up 5 times, that's huge. Again, that's your competitor, because most people don't do that. I've been in sales most of my adult life, and I'm telling you, even as a kid, even as a teenager, and having that sense of urgency, having that mindset of, I'm here to serve, I'm here to help somebody. So you have to be okay calling people 10 times. You have to make a decision that I will reach out to my contacts as many times as I need to, and that you're going to do whatever it takes, and be so confident in who you are. We talked about that as well, because sales is about you and who you are. You cover that. If you haven't seen that episode, it's okay. Go to that episode and then come back to this episode. I promise you, this is a very necessary thing. You can have all the follow-up strategies in the universe and all the things I'm talking about, but if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in the thing that you're doing, if you don't believe that getting on the phone and having real meaningful conversations still exist, yes, in 2025, they still exist, then you're not in the right business. You shouldn't be in sales. Don't work in sales, and that's okay. Maybe you don't feel like doing it. It doesn't light up your heart. You don't feel you have value to bring to the table, then don't do it. But if you're in sales, you got to get comfortable with the follow-up. You have to get comfortable picking up the phone and calling people, having human-to-human conversations. Even AI isn't going to be able to change that, and maybe one day they will. But right now, I appreciate people calling me. I want a human. I don't want a robot. It's true. It's an AI person. It's not a real human that calls me with an accent, like a British or Australian accent. And I know that's not a real human, and I hang up. But it's true. People want to connect. And this is statistics, and studies have shown that most of the sales happen between the 5th and the 12th contact with the customer. This is huge. You got to stay in front of your customers. You got to be intentional with what your follow-up strategy is going to be. And I'm telling you, your mindset, whatever perspective you bring to the table, whatever mindset you're bringing to the table that's been there for who knows how long, years, decades, who knows. If you always thought that calling people wasn't your thing, but you managed to get through sales, maybe you have a nice personality, maybe you're friendly, maybe you're outgoing, maybe you can connect with people, and you've been getting by that way, but deep down you've never liked picking up the phone and following up with customers, well, at some point, you're going to have to really make a decision if this is really for you or not. And let me tell you, if you want to do it, if you love the business, if you love the product, if you love the service, that's half the battle. Just own it. Like, you know what you're doing, you love what you're doing, then own it. There is sometimes a block happening where it's just your mindset, that you feel that you're being persistent, and that being persistent is received like you're desperate or you're bothering somebody. But if you change that mindset and you say, I'm not pushy, I'm not being persistent, I'm not pesterizing people, I'm coming from a place of contribution. And did you know there's a study that also shows that over 80% of people that are buying, like your clients, your prospects, over 80% of them prefer a persistent person that is helpful, that is bringing value. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is studies. Your customers out there want you to be persistent. right? And as long as you're being authentic with who you are and authentic with what you're doing, what you're bringing them, because I'm telling you, when you're adding value and you're being persistent, but there's really good value backing the cause, all the cause that you're making, you're not just selling them something that they don't need. If there's a need, right, and you know that this is going to help them, this is going to move them forward, this is going to make a difference in their business or their lives, whatever it is, whether it's real estate, software, a service, you name it, up, down, left, right, whatever business, whatever industry that you're in, if you know that this is going to have a positive impact on your customer, then that's the value. And when there's a study out there that shows that over 80% of people that buy are appreciative of people that are persistent when there's value. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten phone calls by the same person selling me something, and they're nice and they're very respectful, and even other things which I'll teach you later about how to build rapport even more. But that's what you want to bring. You want to bring all your things in your toolkit. You want to bring in all your strategies to build rapport. And they're nice and they're like, I know you're busy, blah, blah, blah. And they're like the fourth time they've called me. And I'm like, man, this guy doesn't stop. And I'm like, where are you from? I'm in Florida. Oh, you're in Florida. Like, I want to hire people like that. Honest to God, I cannot tell you how many times I've had people call me that are so persistent. And half the time I don't have time to talk to them. And I'm just like, whatever, I don't deal with this. Talk to somebody else or whatever. That is so impressive. When that one person is so persistent, it's the same person. It's not just another person in the queue from that company, telemarketers calling me. I'm telling you, I cannot tell you how many times I make time for those people that are persistent. And I don't mean that you should be persistent where you're calling them every day 5 times. Now that's a little crazy, but have something of a balance that works. You know, you can call somebody depending on the circumstance. Like if you got a lead, you call them within 5 minutes to the best of your ability. That's another statistic and study that I'm going to talk about in just a second. You get on it like white on rice, right? But if it's just somebody that has no idea who you are, they're not a lead that just came in, and you're calling them so they don't know you from a hole in the wall, regardless of how big or small your company is or your name is, you're calling them, right? And they don't know who you are. You leave a voicemail, right? Then no, you don't want to call them the next day. I only say that sometimes when you get a lead, they're hot, they're now, it's right now, get them while they're hot. That's when you need to say follow up. It's 9 a.m, leave a message. And then it's like 3 days later, and I remember, and this is a real example, I'd be like, why didn't we follow up with this person? They've sent us a lead. It came in at 9 a.m. and you called them at 9:05. Good job. Within 5 minutes. Beautiful. Not saying it could always happen, right? It could be 30 minutes later. It could be an hour later. But hopefully you get more that you're being more responsive, even within 1 hour. That's better than the competitor, I'm telling you. You call them at 9 a.m. because they came in as a lead. They didn't answer. And then I would see in the CRM, I would see that there was no follow-up for another 4 days. And I'm like, they landed on our lap. They came knocking on our door. It's very different strategy. Now, right, like if they come in at 9 o'clock as a lead and you call them 5 minutes later, they don't answer. I'm not saying you should call them back 5 minutes after. However, it needs to be less than 3 days. I mean, I would call them back at 3 o'clock at the latest, because at that point you're like, well, what if something's happening? I can't tell you, more times than not, I've done that myself for years in different industries. I'd call them back right away and then they wouldn't answer. And then I'd call them back sometimes 2 hours later, sometimes an hour later. I've done that. And I'm telling you, the more you do this, you're going to get some people that are not going to want anything to do with you. And that's okay. I've had people hang up on me. I've called people that have hung up on me. I'd be like, I'm sorry, John. It looks like we had a bad connection. Like, God forbid, there's no way he hung up on me. So, right? And it's funny. Like, I just laugh at that. And I told him, listen, I'm not here to sell you a newspaper subscription that you don't need. I'm here to do something that you need. I'm here to talk about a solution to your problem. Where am I coming from? I think confidence that, hey, I have a solution for your problem. I have a solution for the thing you want. Maybe it's not a problem, but you want it, and we can serve you. We have a solution. You're freaking confident. B, am I pesterizing them? No, they landed on our lap. It's a lead. That's like the best ones. And even when they're not leads and you're prospecting, right? You might have a different process. Like when they land on our lap, we have a more higher touch. Like you want to get in front of them. They're shopping. The competitor's out there. They're going to get other quotes. But when it's not a lead that landed on your lap, of course, your process might look a little differently. You don't want to call them every day. but to see something of a follow-up, but to see statistics that almost 50% of people follow up only one time, and only 8% follow up 5 times or more. That's it right there. I don't know what more data you need. This is not Diana's opinion. This is real. This is reality. Look it up. Research what I'm saying. I'll back it up every time. This is reality. And that's your competitor. So you got to be on board with your mindset. How are you viewing? What's your mindset about follow-up, about calling people? Who are you? What are you offering? And ensuring that you're a fan of the value that you're providing to them. That matters, because that's the energy. I don't care what your background is. If you believe in manifesting, if you believe in energy, if you believe in quantum physics or not, just do it. I challenge you to just attempt it. And you're going to see what I'm talking about, because it's the energy you bring behind the phone call, behind the dialing, the energy that you're like, I'm so excited. Who am I going to be helping today? Who am I going to get to help today? I promise you might think, what the heck kind of language is that? Like, really? Like, yes, I'm telling you, I've done it. I've done it so many times, and it works, and it feels good, and it makes you feel more confident. And I dial, and I'm like, oh my God, this lady Jennifer was not answering me last week, but that's okay, because today's gonna be the day that she answers me. And I'm like excited to just see who I can help today out of the list of people that I'm calling. And I'm telling you, you might think you're delusional, you're acting like a weirdo, but you know what? There's results that follow. I'll be a weirdo all day, but I'm gonna get the results that I want. So that's the energy. That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy behind the action that people don't see. They don't see it, but you're vibrating. You're vibrating. If you think for a second that I'm a little weird, stay with me. I love those people. I love you. I love you because I want you here, and I want to see you get to that other side, and I want you to leave a comment. I want you to tell me, this is insane. I didn't believe this, but I did it, and I tried it. But I had an open mind, and I went for it. And now look at me. I'm telling you, you're going to be dynamo. Trust me when I tell you, it's all in your energy and the follow-up, and stay consistent. And when I had energy, okay, and the flip side, when I had energy, like, oh my God, I'm freaking not going to get a hold of anybody. I've had those moments more times than I could freaking count. And let me tell you, when I've done that, what happens? Low energy, mindset, vibration. Now it's going into the quantum field of like, I don't want to do this. They don't want to talk to me. I was very persistent. I would leave messages. Even if I was the one that left 6 messages, 6 follow-ups, doesn't matter. You can do 10 follow-ups. You bring the wrong energy, you're out. You're out. Now you're rolling the dice and hoping it lands where you want. Now you're going to play the numbers game. Sure. Because you have some success playing the numbers game and rolling the dice. Okay. But why not be intentional? Why not live on purpose? Why not have it your way? Why not roll the dice and have more wins? Even when you roll the dice. Okay, this is crazy. I am not a gambler. But I love going to a casino once in a blue because someone's there. In the past, I haven't done it in a while. And I would always go to the roulette table. And in the roulette table, you have 2 dice, but the boss is a casino. They'd be after me. Not that I've won millions yet. Maybe one day I will. But when I would go to Vegas, okay, I'm talking about energy. I gotta tell you this part. I know, again, I'm a little off topic, but that's okay. Stay with me for 30 seconds. So, and my husband knows this. We go to the casino for whatever. Maybe we went to a conference, an event, and there happens to be a casino there. That's usually when we've done it. And then we go to the casino. My husband loves to play craps or blackjack, whatever. And I'm always like, I'm going to go to the roulette table. True story, all the time. I tell you all the time. It's all the time. Every single time. We went to like this go-kart racing when my kids were competitively racing go-karts in New York. And there was a resort hotel like in the middle of nowhere, actually. Same thing. I'm just going to go to the roulette table for 5 minutes. And I would, if my husband was playing, I would take, maybe he had $100. I'm like, do you want me to double that? When he first met me, I was his girlfriend. Okay, this was really creepy. When he first met me, I would see like he had some stash of money because he was playing. And I'm like, do you want me to double that? And he's like, what? What are you talking about? And it was like, I don't know if it was like $300, whatever it was. And I said, I'm going to go double this. I take this, and this is really creepy, very off topic, but I'm telling you that you're going to go do this. But I loved it. I loved going to the roulette table. I was always putting all my money in red or all my money in black. And I had to feel it. You guys, I had to feel it. I had to feel the energy. And the minute I had scared energy or negative energy, whatever energy, I was like, I'm out. I'm not doing this. But I'm telling you, 99% of the time I had good energy and I was ready to do this, and I put everything on red, and I would wait, and I'm like, okay. And I would have the energy. I would start, okay, this is definitely a manifestation episode apparently, but this matters. We're talking about energy behind the phone call. And I'm telling you, the energy you bring manifests. So you might not know, like, oh, what do you mean? Like the energy I bring is going to just automatically have that lady answer her call. I'm telling you, the world shifts, your life, the things around you will start maneuvering and going off the beat of your drum. It does that. Don't worry how it freaking happens. I used to be like, how on earth does this really happen? And I would doubt it, and I would challenge, like, no, this is not for me. That's for some weird people that believe in this voodoo stuff. No, you're already doing it. You're already manifesting. You're already attracting. You're already bringing good energy and getting what you want. And you're already, at times, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, at times brought not so good energy and not so good results followed, right? And so that's the energy I would bring. And I would 99% of the time get what I wanted more than when I lost. So when I tell you, bring the right energy behind the phone call, behind the follow-up, it matters. And when you follow up, you want to personalize it. Personalize your resources, add value, bring them something. When you're doing these follow-ups, hey, I was thinking about you because XYZ, whatever it is that you're doing, right? Whatever business you're in. If they're in real estate, it's one of my top favorite topics because I've been in real estate for a long time in the past. I don't do it anymore, but I love real estate, so I can talk real estate all day. And oh gosh, I can do it with my eyes closed. Maybe I'll do an episode on just real estate and maybe inspire you to get into it if you're not into it. So in real estate, right, you can say, hey, I know you're looking to invest in this area. I wanted to share this property. Or an article, you're following up. Hey, just wanted to tell you, I just sent you an amazing article. It's just an excuse to follow up and to talk to them, to make that contact, make that connection. I sent this incredible article about investments and, right, something that they care about. So you can get creative, but you got to have some value of what you're bringing to the table, not just asking, give me. It's like, what are you doing? What are you contributing towards this relationship in this process of follow-up? And let me tell you what another study, they say that personalized follow-ups actually increased their likelihood of getting responded to by 25 to 30%. And even in your email, when you personalize it, don't just send some generic thing, personalize it. Don't just do some generic follow-up or voicemail, personalize it. And you're going to see an increase on people getting back to you and actually returning your phone call. Before we end this episode, I want to leave you with ensuring that you take action, that you create a follow-up process. So now I want you to think about 5 prospects that you haven't spoken to or that you haven't followed up with in a while. I'm sure you probably have 100. Hopefully you have 100. If not, figure out how to just get 5. And then I want you to create a 14-day follow-up plan. Get creative. It doesn't have to be rocket science. Just create a 14-day plan that you're going to commit to with phone calls, with emails, with dripping information of value, or you're just saying hello, or you're just calling to say thank you for your business. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a great year. Boom. Right? Have a plan, a 14-day plan of what you're going to do to ensure that it's mixture of emails, phone calls, and little tidbits of information that you're adding value. I love personal notes. You can even do that. That can count. That can be part of your plan, your 14-day plan. You're going to say a thank you note. Thank you for your business, or thank you for the call today. I look forward to connecting soon, and thank you for sharing some of the challenges you're having in your business, some of the challenges you're having in your life. Could be personal, could be, those things matter. And it's so easy, you guys. We sometimes complicate things like, oh, I remember people would tell me, like, I don't know how to get more sales. How many people did you talk to? How many humans did you talk to? Right? Everybody wants to hide behind a keyboard and do the email marketing thing. No, people want to talk to you on the phone. They want to hear your voice. They want to feel connected. And remember that the fortune is in the follow-ups. Don't leave money on the table because you gave up too soon. The saddest thing I've seen is when there's such amount of potential. You got a mountain of leads. You have a mountain of prospects. You have a mountain of contacts. but you have given up too soon, or sales reps have given up too soon. And I'm like, there's no excuse. Look at this database. There's 1,000 contacts. Get on the phone, get creative, bring the right energy, and the rest will follow. This is where it's at. In so many businesses, the follow-up, you start looking, if you audited companies, you would see such gaps everywhere. You would see that the average sales rep at your company is not following up more than once or twice. And then you'll see that even after 5 times, they stop. And then you'll see that the follow-ups, there's no structure to it. There's no consistency. One lead gets 2 follow-ups. Another lead gets 1. Another one might have gotten 3. Another one maybe 4. And another one 1. Another one 0. You'll see that. So you got to stay on top of your process and making sure that you set those standards if you have a team especially. But if it's just yourself and you're a solo person, that's okay. Create a process for yourself. Create a 14-day plan with 5 clients that you're going to follow up with, or prospects that you haven't spoken to. I'm telling you, you're going to see amazing, amazing benefits from just that alone. And remember that you're serving them. So being persistent with the genuine purpose that you're serving them, you're contributing to something that's going to make their lives better. That mindset shift will bring you a long way. So I want to end it with some statistics because I think it's incredible. We talked a lot about statistics. There's another one. When you personalize your emails, and you're not just sending a generic one, you're personalizing it. Hey, Jennifer, I hope that vacation in Hawaii with your kids was amazing. Boom, you're personalizing it. Or, hey, John, I understand you were out last week because of that knee surgery. I hope you're recovering well. Versus, hey, John, I hope all is well. I'm not sure if you're back or not, but if you are back, wanted to see if you had a chance to review that proposal, which is fine. You're just generic. You're just like anybody else, right? And let me tell you, statistics shows that you get almost 30% higher response rate when you personalize those follow-up emails. It's important. It matters. And remember the other statistics that people want persistence. Over 92% of customers said that they would buy from a sales rep that was persistent. And as long as it's helpful, again, it's got to be helpful. You're not just bothering them. You got to bring value. And when I mentioned the leads that come in, if you have leads that come in your business, I've known this, God, even 20 years ago, this was true, and it's still true today. And even studies have shown that when you respond to that lead that comes in within 5 minutes, right? Not always possible, I get it, but how bad do you want the sales? If you're getting that many leads and you can't keep up with it, then hire somebody. I'm telling you, do it because you're going to get so much in return. Statistics show when you respond within 5 minutes, you're 9 times more likely to convert that into a customer. Is that crazy? 9 times. Do the math. Within 5 minutes, the first person that gets a hold of that lead, because let me tell you, oftentimes people think, oh, the lead came in, I have an hour, I'm busy right now. No, that same person that sent you that inquiry is probably sending it to multiple other companies, not just you, right? So you got to get on it. I'm not saying you should drive yourself crazy. If you're getting that much stuff that you're going crazy, responding every 5 minutes, then that's a good problem to have. Figure it out, right? Maybe you need support. And the last one I'm going to leave you with is referrals. Man, referrals are so overlooked. This is a big one. This is the easiest one, especially when you have a happy customers, is that you ask them for referrals. Did you know that over 83% of customers said that they would be willing to provide a referral, but only less than 30% of people ask for referrals? Again, that's your competitor. So there's really no reason, honestly, there's no reason that you should be struggling in your business when you understand the value of how to show up for your customers and where the execution really is, which is in the follow-up. It's all in your follow-up. Of course, there's a lot of things to sales, and there's a strategy and there's execution plan. All of it matters. But a lot of the things that are often missed is the follow-up. They follow up once, twice, third. You got to follow up at least 5 times or more. That's where the juice is. That's when you start getting momentum and they start recognizing your name and they say, man, this person really cares about what they're doing, so maybe I should pay attention. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I believe we covered a lot in the follow-ups, and I really hope that you take this and that you apply it in your business, that you create that plan that I challenge you to do. Find 5 customers that you haven't spoken to or prospects, and I want you to create that plan. I'm telling you, when you do that, it's going to be a game changer. And I want you to remember the mind shift, that you're not bothering them, that you're bringing value, and that you have something really good that's going to change their lives on some level. It's going to help their business. It's going to save them money, or it's going to make them have better quality, or it's going to get them that vacation house, whatever it is, there's a purpose, there's a why behind whatever it is that they're looking to buy. And you have a solution to solve a problem, or you're looking to solve a wish for them, right? You're going to help them get what they want. And you help enough people. I say this all the time, and I'm going to say it again. When you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want each and every time. I hope that this episode was helpful for you, and I hope that you apply the things that we talked about, that you focus on your energy as well. What energy are you bringing to the table? Pay attention to the language, because oftentimes our language will dictate how we feel about the thing that we have to do. So change that story around. Like I said before in this episode, if you haven't seen the episode on Sales Starts With You, that's in your mind. That's your psyche. That's the engine that says, I'm going to keep going even when things get tough. I'm going to keep calling this prospect and not see it from a telemarketer perspective. I'm here to solve a problem, here to solve a solution, and they need me as much as I want their business. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and make sure to hit the button below to subscribe so that you get notified on the next episode, and leave a comment. We'd love to hear your feedback. If you've tried any of this stuff in the past, or you're looking to do something moving forward, what is one thing you're going to start doing differently? And I want to hear from you on the plan that you're now going to do, and you're going to find 5 customers or prospects. Would love to hear from you, so put your comments below if you're going to do it or you've done it, and what impact has it made for you.